Oh, it's going to decide a true national champion. There's no doubt about that. And I think, look, I mean, we could go back, was it 20 years or so when, there were split national champions, and I think you go back further, and some claim to be national champions. We've claimed national championships where others have claimed them as well. So I don't buy the notion that it doesn't, clearly define who the national champion is. Can you open up the field to more is really the question here. And I think that the narrative has been one of, well, we just entered into this agreement and we've just started this process. I think we've journeyed into it a little bit deeper now, that I think that there's probably, from a commissioner standpoint, an appetite to begin dialogue. But I'm just standing here as the football coach at Notre Dame. I don't have any inside information to share with you. I can tell you that there is an appetite for conversation about it. How that all figures into the grand scheme of things, who really knows? But I sure am one that would register a vote on the expanding the playoff, and where that takes us, I'm sure they'll kind of figure that out.
Why do you say you're liking the expanding?
Well, certainly you can see that there's 5 Power 5 conferences, and then there's the independent ranks. It's certainly, if there's going to be, expansion of any kind, we would prefer that to, include 8. That gives the Power 5s, obviously, their champions, and then opens up much more opportunities for at-large. So more at-large opportunities. We're forcing out a conference champion, or we're forcing out, conferences that are in this, CFP. And so that puts a lot of pressure on us every year relative to our schedule and what we need to do.
Talk a little bit, Brian, if you would, talk a little bit about what you've seen on film about Clemson, what, things that jump out at you offensively.
I think it's probably the same thing you guys have seen. I mean, starting on offense, I think, the running back, Etienne, is, I think he's as good as a running back we've seen since Georgia of last year, that kind of talent. The quarterback is really good. He's got great arm talent. He's tall and can see the field. I think the receiving core is on par with a USC receiving core. That's a pretty dynamic offensive set. Defensively, I think you obviously start with the defensive front. You probably have 3 guys there that could be top 50, top 60 players in all of college football. So that's a pretty good group. I mean, comparing them to maybe North Carolina State last year, in some fashion, LSU, that kind of capability on the defensive line. It's a really, really formidable group. So, just a really talented football team. But more than anything else, it's a team that's been there 4 times. So, they know how to win. They've been there before. They play with a lot of confidence.